Hi, it's Donna Amos, and I wanted to talk today about your business plan and marketing plan. And I know it's not necessarily the stuff that's the funnest to do in your business, but as a solo business owner, it's one of the most important things you can do. It'll prevent you from flying by the seat of your pants, which typically does not generate the kind of results that you would like to have. So I think that there are 7 steps to a successful business plan. And that first step is that mental piece. You really have to be committed to what you're doing, and you have to have some mental tools in place to help keep you focused and inspired and moving ahead and taking action. So number 1 is that mental piece that you need to get really clear on to know that that is what you want to do. The second step is knowing your numbers. And that means not just the income goal for the end of the year, but how does that break down per client, per month? How many clients do you have to secure to hit those income goals? How do those clients break down? Are you doing products as well? So you really need to be able to break down those numbers so that you know exactly what you have to achieve, not only annually, but monthly and weekly, so that you have a focus to work towards. And in addition to that, your expenses. You really need to have a cash flow statement done so that you understand, what expenses are you going to be putting out this year, and are those income goals going to be enough to cover the expenses and give you the profits that you'd like to have. So step 2 is really spending time knowing your numbers. Step 3 is a SWOT analysis. And that analysis is not just an analysis of your business, but for a solo business owner, it really is an analysis of your personal strengths and weaknesses, so that you can look at the areas that you're really strong in. That'll be the areas that you want to spend your time in and that you're naturally gravitate to. But there's also those areas that have to be completed that aren't always our strengths. And so we need to be able to identify those so that we can find ways to support ourselves, that we can find ways to maybe outsource that piece of work, or just putting some habits in place sometimes can help shore up some of those weaknesses. So a SWOT analysis for yourself, for your business, and for your competition and what's going on in the economy is also important. So you complete that. Your next step 4, knowing your target market and what niche it is that you serve within that target market, because nothing else is going to work effectively until you've identified those 2 things. So as much as you would like to say, I can work with anyone, of course you can, most of us can, but you will be much more effective in your marketing and attracting the right clients if you will get really, really targeted and know exactly who your ideal client is and what their characteristics are, what their needs and wants are, so that you can really serve them well. Once you have those pieces in place, then it's time to move on to step 6, and that is selecting your marketing strategies. What strategies will you use throughout the year to keep enough prospects flowing in so that you can close enough to hit your income goals? So it's always important you select a strategy. You ask yourself, does this support my target market? Is it going to be right on for them? And am I going to do this strategy in a way that it interacts with them? And then the second piece is, does it match the numbers? Is it going to attract enough prospects that I'm going to be able to close enough business to hit my income goals? And then you want to make sure that when you're selecting those strategies, that you not only have active strategies, which is where the client can interact with you or experience what you have to offer. You also need passive strategies, and that is one way to get them into your pipeline. So that can be, your blog can be a passive strategy, your newsletter is a passive strategy, any kind of print advertising is passive and usually not very effective, but those passive strategies are also important. You need to have those in place as well. And then the final piece is the follow-up strategies. You have to have follow-up strategies to follow up with the client, the potential client that you spoke with, the prospect that's in your pipeline that you haven't moved forward yet into the sales process. So you have to have follow-up strategies, and you may have to have more than one. It may be 2 or 3 different strategies that you follow depending on where the prospect is in the pipeline. You also have to have follow-up strategies for your existing and for your past clients so that they don't forget you, because that's your trophy database. Those are the people that will be more likely to spend money with you again because they already know the value you bring to the table. So you need to make sure that you select strategies in the active, passive, and the follow-up areas. And then the last piece of it is, once you've identified those strategies, you need to break them down into baby steps. What steps do you have to take for each strategy to turn it into success? What you want to be able to do is break it down into those baby steps so that you can then translate it from the sheet where you've listed all the little tasks to your calendar, so that it shows up when you need to do it, you take action, you get it done, and you move on until you have another task that shows up in your calendar. The real reason to do that is that it allows you to free your mind up. You no longer have to worry, what am I going to do now to generate business, because you have those strategies identified, and it allows you to spend more time with clients and delivering the service that you love to deliver. So take those 7 steps, and next time we'll break it down even further. We'll take each one of those steps and really go into it in a little more depth to give you a better idea of how you can create a very successful business and marketing plan, even as a solopreneur. Thanks so much. Have a great day.